Beg your pardon?
Beware the Ides of March.
The what? Beware the what?
Beware the Ides of March.
Beware the Ides of March? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. What did you say?
Beware the Ides of March.
We've been served with a writ.
Who by?
What sort of a writ?
By some bloke we borrowed money from.
What sort of a writ?
What bloke? I didn't borrow any money.
We've got to go to court.
Bryce, I didn't borrow any money. I'm not going to court. You borrowed $3,500 from a money lender?
Was it that much?
Well, why don't you pay it back?
Oh, there's a principal involved here, Pat.
What principal?
We don't have any money.
Well, can't you borrow it from a bank?
I think we'd best leave them out of it.
You owe them money too, do you?
That's probably the way they look at it.
Why is my name mentioned on this?
Ah, that's standard clause, legal jargon.
And why isn't Ken's name?
Isn't it?
And what is the equipment hereinafter referred to as the collateral? Bryce?
That's why your name's in there.
Why?
Because you own the word processor.
You put my word processor up as collateral?
I had a feeling I shouldn't come in today.
He did
I
that?
had this weird dream.
My
There were
word
lions roaming the
processor.
streets and reams of typing paper spewing up out of the ground.
The laws of copyright are very difficult to fully understand. In any dispute, you'd have to be advised by people whose understanding of both the arts and the law was virtually unassailable.
Mr. Penhaligon, is it true that you're playing that case?
Any idea what sort of damage? Have any statement at all for the press, Mr.
Will you be taking this matter to court, Mr. Penhaligon?
Why would anyone want to steal that?
Didn't like it.
Garbage.
You're a Philistine, Ken.
Johnny Jonquil's pure wool cardigan. There isn't a cardigan mentioned in the whole 200 pages.
Well, I think it's brilliant. Such breadth of vision, such perception. And there's a kind of doleful humour.
What's it about?
Well, I can't tell you what it's about for you. I know what it's about for me, but see, you might derive something completely different from the symbolism.
What's the symbolism of the bloke with 6 legs who urinates on lampposts? Is it a warning of what happens when your vision broadens and your perceptions are heightened by a sort of doleful humour? You grow extra legs and lose control of your bladder?
Now, this pimp Penhaligon's probably depressed. Somebody's stolen his play. And you won't help things if you go in there and start asking him stupid questions about what the thing means. You won't do that, will you, Ken? I mean, you won't ask him what it's all about, will you? I genuinely couldn't live with that.
This play of yours, Pim, what's it actually about?
I love the play. Reading it was a singular experience. It totally smashes through the walls of misunderstanding. It cuts through the dimension of time like
A snowplow? Whippersnipper? Dose of salts?
Thank you.
I like the bit with the porcupine.
There's no bit with a porcupine.
Yes, I think I would have enjoyed it more if there had been a bit with a porcupine in it.
I'm only sorry you couldn't have seen our production of it.
Oh, I didn't know it was on.
It wasn't on.
Was it going to be on?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know it was going to be on.
We don't advertise.
Then how do people know to come?
They know.
Ever had a full house?
I'd rather not write anything at all than have my works performed for some 300 or 400 blue-rinsed buffoons in some government-subsidized, subscription-seasoned, bums-on-seats commercial theatre like the Mercury.
What is your play about, Pim?
What is anything about? What's this meeting about? What's this chair about? Hmm?
Did you tell the Mercury you wrote this?
I wish I'd never mentioned it.
This NB4 must be making a tidy sum for himself.
Well, he's welcome to it. What I resent is the publicity it's given me. Having reporters shove cameras in my face.
Have to unmask NB4 and make the Mercury withdraw the play. Can you do it? You find out who NB4 is.
Sure. Absolutely. Give us a phone book. Bella, do us a favour. What's the play about? Bryce didn't understand it, but he's a bit too shy to ask.
Any suspects, Bella?
Well, there's 12 of us in the company. We all live together. Any of us could have seen the script while Pim was writing it.
I've got many enemies.
They're all jealous of him.
Same in our field.
Are you writing anything else, Pim?
He can't take the risk.
I daren't. We're going to stage Hamlet instead. Explore it in the context of the present-day socio-feudal nuclear nightmare.
And that's why I'm hiring you two. Now, you'll get a few small roles in Hamlet, attend rehearsals, and get to know everyone, and that way you'll be close by if anything happens. But remember, not a word to Pim. We don't want to worry him.
Fine.
Bella, Bryce is a bit worried. What's Hamlet about?
Victor was a friend of the family. The son found him hiding behind a curtain in his mother's bedroom. Thought it was his uncle. Fired the gun, and that was that.
I thought he was after his father.
Now, the father died in the ear unit up at the Royal Melbourne, and the mother married his brother. The suspect's uncle is now his stepfather.
Where's this dead bloke then?
Give me that. You better get me the Danish High Commission on the phone.
What are you doing about this court case?
Haven't got time to discuss it, Pat.
Well, you'd better make time, Bryce. I am not losing my word processor.
Look, if you're worried, go see this bloke. There.
Dabney Barraclough.
Dabney Barraclough, QC. Mate of mine. He'll fix it all with one little call.
Ken, I'm not seeing energy. Now I want you all to become fire! Roaring, crackling, sizzling, flickering, powerful, passionate fire! Good, Bryce, I like this fire. Good.
Two bar heater.
Stop.
He's manic depressive. All the great ones are.
But when he reawakens, he'll be brimful of ideas. He's a brilliant writer, brilliant.
Do you write, Damien?
I try, but I have a problem. Everything I write runs to 8 pages. I seem to cut to the heart of a character in a fraction of the time it takes others.
Push the text around. Yes, that's what we must do. With the text as a crutch, push out from the inside and energize. Act 4, scene 2, everyone. Ken, could you do it with the book down?
I only want the briefest of opinions.
Well...
Well, look, Pat. He really doesn't have a leg to stand on.
To be
Prompt.
or not to be? That is the question.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and each man in his time plays many parts.
Not all of them in the right place.
Not all of them in the right play.
Again, Hamlet.
Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows,
Friends!
No!
of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more. And by asleep to say we end the 1,000 heartaches.
What is the ghost doing on stage?
Just get off any time you like, Bryce.
Thank you. Oh, that can't be right.
The murderer's name is Ham Van Loon. He's an actor. He wrote this. I want to start with alternative theatres.
Well, there's the Mercury, Commonwealth Arts Centre.
Are they alternative theatres?
They're alternative to each other. That's how it works, doesn't it?
Isn't there anything in there with a name like the Spaced Out Chicken Factory, rewriting our history for us? Saturday Age speaks of little else, Parker.
You know the rendezvous. If that His Majesty will oath with us, we shall express our duty in his eye, and let him know so.
I will do it, my lord.
Go softly on.
Cam? Yeah? That sounds exactly the same as all your other characters.
Well, who am I now? Aren't I the same bloke who says, I will, my lord, and I very well, my lord, and I shall, my lord?
No.
Oh, sorry. Thought I still was the other bloke.
No, the other bloke, as you so quaintly put it, is Ronaldo. You are now the captain.
Ah. You better watch yourself, Bryce. I'm a captain now.
How much? Go on, how much? For a 5-minute consultation with the solicitor who's a friend.
150 or 200? Whose friend? Bryce's?
Yep.
A couple of grand.
Oh, and it turns out that he's not really a friend either. He doesn't even really like Bryce.
Well, that could run into money.
Come quickly! Someone's trying to shoot Pete!
Where were you standing?
Over there. If I'd been standing 1 foot to the left, I would have lost my head.
Did you see anyone?
No. Maybe it was supposed to miss me. This could be a warning from MB4. Oh, my nerves can't take any more of this.
$225 to find out that you haven't got a leg to stand on.
What a rogue and peasant slave is he to thus abuse our friendship thus? A pox on him.
Now, you have to find this money, Bryce, on top of the 3.5 grand.
Thou shalt just have to help out. Here's a list of possible suspects outside the company Penhaligon thinks might be out to get him. You might as well whip around this lot tonight.
58 names. Why can't Ken do this?
Interpersonal communications workshop, followed by a reassessment of existential theatre. Mind you, I would at least spend the evening with my coxcomb caught in a rabbit trap.
The basic problem seems to be, well, the way I see it, the way I perceive it, and I could be wrong, of course, is that personal relations are to do with the politics of space.
Right.
Following a bizarre shock murder today, police are looking for a Danish gunman who allegedly slayed a family friend in strife-torn Elsinore. No names have yet been released, as police are still trying to locate the dead man's son, who is believed to be in France, borrowing and lending money. Well, more bad weather for the weekend, David. Today, though, mostly overcast with showers and drizzle, mostly in Carlton,
got a spot? There. I'll get it out for you.
And you are?
Claire Penhaligon.
Any relation to Ping Penhaligon?
Aye, he's my husband.
Terrible business, this stealing the play. Must be particularly hard on you, being his wife.
That tree moved.
Huh?
Do you ken that tree moved? Trees move here. They shift about when you look away. There's another one.
Must be very irritating knowing that somebody else is making lots of money out of your husband's genius.
I'm going to have a shower.
This play is called Johnny Jonquay's Pure Wool Cardigan by someone called NB4.
Why is it?
Experts were in the audience to see how similar it was to Pim Penhaligon's play and whether it had been plagiarised. Bryce and Ken were there too.
But when I lift this leg, no light comes on.
This one's a lot different to the other version. This bloke's only got 5 legs.
Answer me, you pragmatist. Why do you just sit there? Do you expect me to pose the questions and answer them too? It's all right for you, you've got legs. Don't you think I too would like to have legs? I'd give my right arm.
Wake me up when the porcupine comes on. Shh. Is there an ocean near here?
A powerful, eloquent, and relentlessly honest study of a disintegrating interracial marriage.
How are we going to be able to go back and question the Mercury management now you've had us thrown out? What are we going to do, Ken?
A momentous and absorbing excursion into the deepening ambiguities of 19th century Viennese politics.
That'll just have to do it, that's all.
Maybe Penhaligon and MB4 should get together and put out a prize for the critic who gets closest to what it's all about.
Oh, there's your problem there. You need to press this button and shift that down. And then repaginate. Oh, you better delete that stuff there too. Good.
I've already read your script. It's the same problem with all the others. Your dialogue stinks. Stinks.
Does he think he's the only one who can write plays?
Bryce, could we have your hairpiece, the inks?
I didn't notice you at the hoedown last night, Fiona.
At the what?
The interpersonal personalised workshop.
I didn't live with the rest of them. One has one's own flat. Did you go?
Yes, but one had a few too many beforehand and one slipped into a trance at a very early stage in the proceedings.
Viola, could we have your hair also, please? Oh.
Ah, enter another expert, looking for all the world like a policeman in a very unfamiliar place, covering his nervousness with a hearty appetite and an attitude of complete disdain.
Laertes and his sister. Laertes and his sister, Ophelia. Do you think they really exist, except in each other's minds?
Well, I think perhaps they do. But it's Hamlet I have my doubts about. Might he not be just an illusionary being, conjured up in the mind of the ghost on the battlements at the beginning?
That's an interesting thought, Viola.
You know, I'm pretty concerned about how overprotective Laertes is towards his sister. I mean, is this guy jealous or something?
You're talking incest here, Bryce.
Well, I think it's worth looking at. I think we should explore the possibility. What are you doing tonight?
I'm washing my hair.
Excuse me, I'm looking for the managing director of the empty space.
Good God, it's Blair.
Blair? Impossible. He'd be less interested in this place than I am.
Who's he?
Blair.
Things you see when you haven't got a gun.
How do you think we feel?
I'm looking for a man called Ham Van Loon.
Yes, what's he done?
Well, it's just an inquiry at this stage. Do you know him?
No.
Yes, I know him.
Seen him lately?
Oh, I haven't seen him for 2 years.
What happened to your window?
He is the one who did those murders up in Elsinore, didn't he? I knew he'd end up killing someone.
Ah, what news on the Rialto?
Well, you can rule out all the people on this list. They're either dead or out of the country.
So they're unlikely.
Well, yes, these ones here are very unlikely.
You know, I still think this is an inside job.
What are you doing about this court case, incidentally?
Legal aid should be your next step, Pat. Now, the Mercury Theatre's artistic director is a woman called Frances Tourniquet. I want you to go and see her and find all about NB4.
I won't do it, Bryce.
Then I can't go to court. I won't get your word processor back. I've got no time. I'll be too busy doing this. Think about it. Ask yourself, Pat.
I'll drive you to the theatre.
Well, if he does drop in, give us a tingle. Tell me, Kenny, are you professionally or theatrically?
Bit of both. Same as you.
Oh, Act 4, Scene 2, when you're ready, Ken.
I don't think I can today, Pim. Vibes don't feel right.
Fine. Fine. I can't make you do it. No human being has authority over another. We have no rules in this...
Except for the rule of thumb.
Where's that power lead? I ordered you quite specifically to get that half an hour ago.
The rule of thumb and not a minute too soon.
Most irritating fool.
Don't forget, the role of the fool is to irritate, oh wise one.
Everyone on this list is either dead or out of the country.
Ham Van Loon should be on that list.
Where will I find him?
He probably won't. The police can't.
There are some scenes in this that are really quite good.
I must have slept through those bits.
Why doesn't somebody steal a copy of the Mercury's original script? It's bound to give us some clues, idiosyncrasies in punctuation, spelling and such.
I'm not going back in there. They'll throw me straight back out again.
That could work to our advantage, Ken. You realise, of course, that we could instigate legal proceedings, don't you?
Penhaligon didn't write it.
Or if this enigma has written it, someone you've never even met.
I have met the person, briefly.
Or what, did he or she attend rehearsals or something? Is that it?
No, the writer didn't attend rehearsals. I'll tell you as much as I know myself, which isn't much. The person is British and is also an actor. Most of the play is nonsense, but there are scenes in there that are truly wonderful. The writer should be encouraged.
Perhaps
Penhaligon used to send me 3 plays a month. They're truly awful. I'm being charitable here.
Well, perhaps he's improved since then.
The man can't write. He has nothing inside him. This stuff has patches of real brilliance. Oh, excuse me. Yes? You sure? Right. This won't take a moment.
I'll bring this back. I really will. I'm just borrowing it to check something. It'll be back before you know it.
Barker, what are you doing next Thursday night? Excelsior Research Foundation starring in a production of Hamlet, if you like a laugh.
Oh, is Hamlet a comedy?
I think its chances of surviving as anything else are pretty slim. If we had the numbers, this would be the answer to the annual police outing.
Yeah, right. Hey, is Ralph in his office?
Well, let's keep this in perspective.
He might like to come to this. We can get up a bit of a party.
Well, just don't let the idea get out of hand, that's all.
Now, I've always wondered what those blokes do at night. Hello, Ralph.
This manuscript is passing strange. Done on blue paper, which is not typing paper, and which doesn't conform to any common paper size.
Of course it does. That script was typed on an Adler Universal, same as we used to use here.
This could be the missing link, you know.
The sort we might have to use again, Bryce, if you don't win your court case.
He's never lost a case yet, Pat.
I'll tell you who it is. It's Damien.
Here's a good example. He's now going to mount a case against an essentially boring but innocent man he hardly knows.
1, Damien is British.
That just about wrapped it up.
2, he resents Pym's genius. And I think NB4 is a code.
Or possibly a form of radar.
Which I have broken down to something very close to Damien Webster.
How close?
Duck weasel.
They're almost identical.
Didn't you tell me that Penhaligon's wife is Scottish?
Yes.
Well, she's British. She's got to be a suspect too.
Her middle name's Duckweasel, incidentally, Bryce. How about Fiola? She's English, but she's got another motive for being there. She can act.
Look, I don't know. Could be anyone.
Could be all of them.
I don't know, Jeff. You'd have to ask Parker. I don't know, the last time I saw him, he was down in bylaws with a seating plan and a petty cash tin.
What makes you so sure it was Van Loon sent you this?
Who else?
Well, I mean, it could be anyone. Look at it. There's no postmark, no handwriting, no typewriter, there's no clues at all.
He's the only one who calls me Perry.
Where do you know him from?
Oh, we bummed around Europe together.
Ah, yes, the good old days. Art galleries, Cat Stevens records, new friends, old Levi's.
He a friend of yours, is he?
He hates me. He's mad.
We'll have to call in the police, Pim.
Oh, no more interviews. I couldn't stand it.
Can't we do this without dragging the police into it?
You don't qualify for legal aid. You earn too much. Yes, but I haven't got any money. I lent it to him. And I'm not applying. He is, and he doesn't earn anything. If he did, he'd be able to pay the moneylender back. He would have to come down here himself. But I don't know why you're here. By the look of this, you should be suing him.
Ham Van Loon. Yes. He's been in the nut house, you know. The ardent cynic. He's threatened to kill me before.
What part do you play, Kenneth?
Gentleman, priest, second lord, third messenger.
Bryce, let them do it. This is what legal aid are for. Just go and see them.
I'll defend myself, Pat. You forget I did law, you know.
You failed law.
Tell you what, zip down to the legal library and dig me up a bit of precedent. Now, there's one case in particular. I think it's Spottiswood and Kershaw.
You failed first year law?
The man from Porlock, group of citizens, singing tree in Act 2.
So you and Bryce are in it quite a bit then, Ken?
So Bryce has no equity in the murder process, or no claim?
None whatsoever. Would I be breaking the law if I shot him?
Technically you would, yes. Did you try just apologising to everyone for being a complete idiot?
Oh, very helpful. Just looking after ourselves as usual, right?
We've got a block booking.
Cup of tea if anyone wants one.
Well, I don't know whose typewriter Damien used. It obviously wasn't the one at the flat with all those people there.
How do you know he can type?
How do I find that out?
Damien, can you type? No?
Could be lying.
If he'd been lying, he would have said yes.
Why do you say that?
Because he can't type.
How do you know?
I just asked him.
No, I've got no idea about the seating. Oh, look, Parker's not here, Keith. I'm not a bloody booking agency. Yeah, I'll see you.
I can't find any case listed under Spottiswood and Kershaw.
Well, did you try it with the names the other way round?
Yes, nothing.
Well, you better go back and try all the other variations then. The future of this business could well depend on it.
I don't think I can really look it up under and.
They've earned a fair bit.
Yeah, they've got several parts each. Parker, could you come and do some police work for a minute?
I only joined for Hamlet.
So you joined after his play turned up at the Mercury then?
Yes. I've never seen one of Pim's plays. I can't imagine what they must be like. I'm doing a real play in 2 months. Won't hurt me to go along with their Tommy rot. I think it's a hoot.
Here we are. Pim Penhaligon. Why the Wildebeest? 3-act play. A woman waits at a bus stop talking to herself and gradually comes to the realisation that her knee highs have reached her thighs. Cast, 1 woman, 98 men. Written for the Melbourne Theatre Company, 1977, unperformed. Script available from author.
Will I go back to the library then? No, Linda, you've wasted enough time already. It's not your fault that Spottiswood and Kershaw, which is in fact Spitbird and Kelshaw, turned out to be a case about the molestation of a 8-year-old girl in Burma in 1923.
All good background, Pat. The principle is the thing. Wherein we'll catch the conscience of the king.
Yoko, yoko, glee, glee, glee. 3 dental assistants remove each other's appendixes with bizarre results. Cast, 2 men, 4 women, and a frisbee. Commissioned by the ABC, 1980, filmed 1981, 82 and 83, not yet screened. Although according to the ABC annual report, it has been repeated.
Bryce, would you like to outline for me the defence you've prepared for yourself in this court appearance?
Don't be hysterical, Pat. It's all coming together. Up here.
Being a pathological moron who couldn't organise a look out the window is not a defence in cases of fraud.
I shall probably write a play about the imagined epistolary relationship between Hitler and Florence Nightingale. Someone who despises commercial theatre, he once tried very hard to get into it.
Hello, Excel.
What?
Yeah, we'll be right there. There's been a bomb explosion.
Provide police protection for you wherever possible for the duration of the play. We're working on a couple of leads. We should be making an arrest in a day or so.
You know, we've had an awful lot of interest in the show. Have you considered extending the season?
Go away, go away.
I wash my hands of the hell thing.
Excuse me, sir. There's something here I think you should have a look at.
Bryce, I don't care if the whole theatre has fallen over. You'll stay on the case. You need the money. We haven't got any money.
Isn't it just possible that Ken and Bryce might get killed?
Perhaps. If all the children join hands?
Or is it just too solid flesh to burn? Thaw and resolve itself into a Jew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. It is an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature possesseth me. That should come to this. So excellent a king it was. To this. Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the winds of heaven visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth. Must I remember?
You didn't tell me you're an actor, Lester. You didn't tell me that you were a detective. And yet I knew.
I bet you know a lot of things, don't you?
Oh, more than you in some respects. Why did the 3 women go out without umbrellas? I'm married because it wasn't raining. I knew that. Pim is his own worst enemy. I know that.
In what way is he?
And Ham Van Loon won't hurt you. I know that.
You know him too?
Oh, yes. Him, Ham, and me, we used to live together in a big house. A big, beautiful house with many rooms and a big, lovely garden.
Bryce thinks Claire did it.
Bryce, you will be shocked to hear, is wrong.
Oh, dear.
Penhaligon did it.
The woman from the Mercury says he can't write.
Yes, I don't think he did it all by himself. Somebody else did the good bits.
Are you Pat?
Yeah?
I have a message from someone called Bryce. You have to go to court in his place.
Ken?
Her courier service is delivering a written defense statement to the court. You have to read it out.
Bryce is dead meat. Where is he?
I don't know. I'm just a messenger.
Jesus, what's going on now? Well, the victim's son came back from overseas and he was a bit angry.
I suppose he would be.
Well, not just about his father. It turns out his sister was engaged to Van Loon. She went a bit loopy and threw herself in the Maribyrnong out the back of Safeway.
You've spoken to Van Loon's mother? Mrs. Van Loon?
She's dead.
Well, the uncle?
He's dead.
The girl's brother, the angry one that came back.
He's with forensic.
Dead. Well, what about Van Loon? Have you got a statement?
He's dead. Homicide reckon it's the biggest domestic they've ever seen.
Your name is Solly Eckelbaum?
That's correct.
And you are the moneylender referred to in this contract?
I am, yes.
Mr. Eckelbaum, can I ask you, what race are you?
Australian.
Can I ask you where your family originally came from?
From Swan Street, Richmond.
Where is the third party to this contract and the defendant in this case?
Sir, he's unfortunately unavailable and he's asked that I represent him here today.
Very well. Has the $3,500 been paid to Mr. Eckelbaum?
No.
And whereabouts is the equipment?
It's a word processor and it's in the office cited in the document.
Does your client contest that he hasn't paid the money and therefore must forfeit the collateral?
No, he doesn't. But I'd like to say a few words if I may.
Very well, but please be brief. We've got a lot to get through this morning.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon the plague.
Anything to do with the case? Where did you do your articles? Sit down, please. Try to keep your mind on the matters in hand. Mr. Eckelbaum, do you have a truck?
I have a truck? Yes, of course I have a truck. You think I don't have a truck?
Then you can collect this word processor this afternoon.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yes?
If he is to take the word processor, he should be told to take only the word processor. No paper, no software, no clips, no stationery of any kind, nothing. Nor should he take anything less than the word processor. He shouldn't leave a spring or a button, a single drop of oil. If he is going to make us live by this contract, he should live by it himself.
What a load of schlock.
Where did you do your articles? With the Woman's Day? Of course he shouldn't take more than what he's legally owed. He may quite properly take less. As a lawyer, you should know that.
I'm not a lawyer.
Why have you been impersonating a lawyer?
I wasn't. I was just coming...
You're in contempt of this court, and you shall be so charged.
But it's my word processor.
The defendant doesn't own the collateral.
Dreadful creature. We had him more or less permanently in NB4.
NB4?
Yes, it's a ward for people who are prone to blowing things up. Him and Ham Van Loon had quite a reputation for that sort of thing. It started with just the gardener's shed and the boiler room. Then they tried to blow up the east wing. That's all. We're now the proud owners of a word processor.
Tim had a friend here called Lester.
Lester? Yes, lovely lad. A sad case, too. They used to put on little plays here, and Lester had us all spellbound. But he didn't get much of a look-in with Penhaligon around.
Can I borrow your phone for a tick?
Of course.
Yeah, okay. What's this doctor's name? Oh, yeah. Parker's been organising a jamboree around it for weeks. I'll see you there. Oh, incidentally, I've got a subpoena for fraud over a debt to one Mr. Eckelbaum.
He'll have the money to pay Eckelbaum tomorrow. Don't worry, I'll fix it.
Do you want to come in now, fellas? It's showtime.
nonsense finishes, you started as a security guard at this brickworks. Now, that takes you through till 6. You've then got an hour and a half, and then you clock on at combined cabs. Then
Oh, by the way, I've invited 2 agents tonight. Do you have any idea how much money you can make out of just one TV commercial?
Then the cleaning job starts at 11. I told them you'd bring your own clothes, all right? And so I'm up for contempt of court and he's up for fraud. I told him he would be.
You'll have to pay the guy back in the morning.
He hasn't got the money.
He will have tomorrow. We finished this case.
How?
MB4 is 2 people. Penhaligon's one of them. That bloke over there did the good bits.
Lester?
Penhaligon's greatest ambition is to be famous, right?
Yeah.
He's a parasite and Lester's the perfect host. He's talented.
So why always pretense about not wanting any publicity?
Makes you more attractive to the press.
Thoughts black, hands out. Drugs fit and time agreeing.
What about the bomb and the bullet?
Did it himself.
I thought Van Loon did that.
No, Penhaligon blamed it on him. They were in the Arden clinic together. Van Loon didn't have the time to pretend to murder Pym. He was too busy killing everyone else. Penhaligon's the real pretender. He's publicity mad.
Does Bryce know any of this?
Bryce has been reading breathing manuals and trying on tights.
The king raises. Well, what are you going to do about it?
I've done it. Penhaligon will have a few visitors after the show.
His name's Gonzaga. The text is Italian in choice. Note how the murderer gets the love of the murdered wife.
Lester's fine. Penhaligon goes away and Lester's a famous playwright.
Frightened with false fire!
How fares my lord? Give all the play!
Give me some light!
Oh, this is great. This is the bit where Bryce gets his cue wrong every time.
Oh, treble wall, 10 tons!
Might have a few spare parts for you to play tomorrow night.
Mary, whist, ho there! Force on, lad fellow, begone the nonce! Mary, sirrah! Forsooth, get thee from this place, perchance to return upon a more festive occasion. Speak, fallen loon, who art shaped like the nether aspect of a milking goat. Wilt thou consent to scoop thy cloven claw into thy purse and produce ducats, florins and promissaries and more, in order to pay fair portion, who from Cathay hath owned a powerful trinket, which, untimely ripped while lying varlet, may yet be replaced by honour, trust, and the thread of thy life for the processor of both word and law. Say yes.
Yes.
Marry, uncle. Then shall the rafters ring with joyous contumely.
It's hard enough telling them apart as it is. I'm not being racist here.
Of course not.
See, they come from a closed society, these people.
If it's closed, how do they come from it?
They ran away.
To Footscray.